Hi again, Maxwell Kira here, your agent of happiness. And I wanted to talk about what's going on in the world right now that is a lot of chaos, but not specifically what's going on in the world right now. I want to talk about that chaos, that fear, and how that really affects us. As you can hear, it affects the cat quite greatly. He is having a good time talking about it all. So when we are in this fear mode, what's happening is there's a lot of neurons firing in our brains, just going all over the place. And what they're doing is they're trying to follow what we would call Hebb's law. So neurons that, well, I wouldn't say they're trying to, but Hebb's law says that neurons that fire together wire together. And so when we have these fear responses, we are being taught more that we should be afraid. And I don't believe that that's the case. I think that the less fear we have, the happier we can be. So when something bad happens, we're not spending enough time focusing on the love of the situation, the goodness of the situation. For example, when people start off as a protest and become a riot, we hear a lot more about that because that's what we focus on. That's what we seek out. That's what we're looking for when we go and turn on the news. We want to hear about the horrible things that have happened. Well, in this particular case, what happens is these neurons that fire together wire together. So when you're watching these stories on the news, your brain is firing for fear. And that's the emotional response. Fear, fear, fear. And you are associating it with what's happening on the TV. So these riots, or maybe what's happening in your neighborhood, depending on where you live. So your brain is putting these things together. It's saying when people get mad about this certain type of event, they cause violence. Well, then we start to associate, well, these people, and I say these people, yell at me if you want, I'm not talking about a race or a political party so much as I'm talking about the people who are engaged in that activity. When I say these people, that's who I'm referring to. So these people, the people that would do this kind of violence, we start to look at them more as people who would create violence and chaos. We start to look at them more and say, well, actually, let me rephrase that. We start to look at everybody more and say, well, there's a chance that you are one of these people, one of those people that would cause this violence. And so in order to keep us safe, these neurons say fear, damage, and these people. And we need to not do that. What we need to do is start looking for ways to be more loving and accepting of what's going on. And I'll give another example, and maybe the two examples together will help bring this together a little bit better. But think about all the virus stuff that's been going on. That's a lot of fear. But what parts of our brain are firing right now that are reassociating? What is it really making us afraid of? Is it making us afraid of a virus? Well, I was kind of already afraid of that anyways. I don't want to get sick. That sucks. Stuff coming out of my nose and my lungs and whatever, and that's horrible. But now it's gone from a dislike to a fear. But what's worse is that there is now an association of illness with other people. There is an association of people going around without a mask on as being people who want to kill you and hurt you. And then, even worse, is the people with the masks on, because now you can't see their face. So now your brain is going to make all kinds of assumptions that maybe they're trying to kill you or hurt you. So now everybody in the world looks terrible. And this is all getting reassociated in our brains. All of these neurons that fire together are now wiring together to say that people are dangerous. Those people are dangerous. When those people get upset, they're dangerous. When I come across anyone on the street, they are probably dangerous. They could get me sick. They could kill me. They could riot. They could do whatever. And that's where we need to stop. And we need to realize just how much time and effort, how many of our resources are being spent being afraid. And when you catch yourself afraid, when you have that moment, when you walk past somebody and you say they must be one of those people, or maybe they're sick, or maybe they don't care if my grandma gets sick, stop yourself. And I'm not saying you have to change what you think. I'm saying stop yourself right there and figure out why you're really afraid. Figure out, do you need to be afraid? Figure out, is that how you want to live your life, is afraid? I know I don't want to live my life afraid. There are a million things in this world that can hurt me and can hurt you, and they don't. And that's because we are taken care of in some manner by some kind of higher power, whatever it might be, we're taken care of. So don't be afraid. Don't be reckless, but be fearless. And you'll find that your life gets much brighter, much happier. Let me know what you think in the comments. And remember, your life is just a choose your own adventure self-help book. Have a great day.